Here is the third video for the stamped nativity scene using Whiff of Joy stamps, and I'm just continuing on coloring in another one of the three kings. And these colors they're a grayish purple. They're BV colors, so that means they're blue violets. So they really have a lot of blue undertones to the violet. And these are some of my favorite. I'm not a huge purple fan, so these are some of my favorites. I really like these, and they kind of are a rich and regal color, and they blend gorgeous. These are my three favorites in the purple family here. So I'm just adding some shading again, like I have been doing. And you can see as I color in over all of this, it kind of picks up a lot of that blue with the lighter. And I went over it several times to get the shading like I wanted. I brought up a little bit more of that darker color, brought it down around his shoulders, and where it would naturally be darker there on his outfit, and the even darker color. And the thing about these is that they really almost start blending before you take your lightest color and blend them all together. I really like these. And I really worked on this. I wanted it to be just right. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to add a little yellow to his crown there. Just one of the same yellows I've been using on other pieces of the design. I'm going to add some yellow over here as well. Going back with a little bit darker yellow and shading in his crown just a little bit. Do the same for the other one. Just gives it a little more depth and dimension. I didn't do a whole lot here, but I did want it to have just a tiny bit of shading. You always take your lightest color and shade, or color it over the shading you've added to blend it together. Adding a little bit of brown hair for this guy. I did some blonde for Mary and a darker hair for one of the kings. I'm ready to color in the manger now, and I'm using my three favorite brown colors. This is E55. I use these three for wood a lot and sometimes hair as well. Kind of trying to be careful there where I've colored in the hay. Now I'm going with my next color. Kind of just following the grain of the wood there, and my even darker color. Kind of just adding a little bit more shading. Now I'm going to go back with that E55 and blend that all together really well. Help it look a little bit more natural. I'm going to use a gold color to color in the bells there on the donkey, and red for the collar. And I'm going to take those same browns and color in the sandals on any of the characters here who have sandals on, just to be consistent and quick and easy. I'm going to color in the blanket with some really light, almost yellowish brown colors, and I accidentally colored in Joseph's sleeve with those colors, which is okay. I am going to color him in with some browns a little bit darker than this, so I'll just color over it. A lot of times you can correct your mistakes as long as you've started light. You can go over it with darker. So I have a few different shades of brown here, starting with E53 for his, which was the darkest color I used for the blanket there that he's holding, but this is going to be the lightest color on his robes. So I'm just going to go over where I've colored that before, and there's not a lot of definition yet, but there will be. Now I'm going to take that E55 is going to be my mid color. Just add some color. You can see his outfit starting to be more defined from the blanket that he's holding. E57 is my darkest color here. Just pull it up, kind of add it where things would naturally be darker. Missed a couple spots, need to fill in. And then I'm going to go back with E55, adding just a tad bit more dark color. Didn't want it to be too light, especially there where it'll be more shaded. And then go back with E53 over the entire thing to blend the colors together really nicely. And then I really worked with the blanket to make sure that it was defined from his robes. I'm going to add a little bit of greens to some greens to his outfit as well. The same greens I used on the king over on the right side. And here's the top of his headpiece that I missed. So I'm just going to go in and quickly add some color. And I'm going to take my darkest green and color in kind of those accents along his outfit. Down along the bottom as well. Really helps set his clothing apart from the blanket that he has in his hands. And then take my lightest color and blend it again. Adding a little bit darker there, now blending again. Coloring in another shoe that I missed, I used yellows for it. And last, I have the last king here who really needs some color. Before I do that though, I think I'm going to take some warm grays and color in what this king is holding. It has some cute holly on it that I've already colored, but it needed some color, and I didn't really want it to be a bright red or anything like that, so I went with the warm grays. And now I'm going to take a gold glitter pen. This is also from Copic, and I colored in the bells on the donkey. And now I'm going to take those reds and color in this robe. And just quickly adding color. You can see that lightest color is really light. It's a nice red, but it's just not that deep, rich, regal red that we're going for here. So I'm grabbing up the rest of the markers I think I'm going to need to finish my piece, and adding some purples for what is in this king's hand over here. At this point, I didn't really want to get out a whole lot or introduce a whole lot of new colors to the design. Oh, sorry, my head's in the way. And then I added some clear glitter pen over it. The glitter pens add just a nice subtle sheen. You can kind of see that glittering there in the screen. I used some cool grays for the color there on this king, and also the one clear over on the left side. And then I went over that area with the clear glitter pen. That way it appears white, but it still has that depth and dimension. I used C1 and C3. And those are cool as opposed to the warm grays that I used on the donkey and some of the other pieces. I really like to use those cool grays for white. And I took a gold glitter pen and went over part of the crown there on this king. Working in a little bit more darker colors, and even now adding my darkest red, that R39, blending it all together really well. Reds can be tricky. This paper is specifically, or not, I guess it's not specifically designed, but it is made to work extremely well with reds. Reds tend to bleed, and I had absolutely no problems when working with this paper with my reds. Okay, I have just a couple more pieces left. Check something there. Use a little bit of gold on what is in this king's hand. Don't know if it's the gold, frankincense, or myrrh. Taking the gold glitter pen and going over there. And then I'm going to take a red glitter pen, or I guess my clear one, and add just a little bit more glitter to those red areas. I'm taking the gold one and coloring over the star, kind of finishing off my piece with a few glittery accents. Adding just a little bit of shading, and that is it. Thanks for watching.